Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson, and welcome again to my channel. It is December 8th of 2025, almost at 11 p.m. Yeah, I'm back again. I usually do between 3 to 5 videos a day, so I gotta get it in because, hey, look, it's a lot of reasons. But anyway, praise God from whom all blessings flow. Let's say that. You know, my saying is, let's stay covered in the blood. We need that anointing. We need that coverage. It is very important. We are days away from the end of the year. And things, they have the good days and bad days. And we have our ceremonies and we have our rituals. Unfortunately, we have those going on in this realm because Satan knows his time is short. And we also have sacrifices. I don't like that is a part of our reality, but you and I know that it is. And put in the chat if you've seen a lot lately. I see the last 4 or 5 months, we're getting more sports figures that we're losing too. Not just entertainers in terms of music and the arts. It's football players, and I tell you, it's crazy. And I'm wondering, are these sacrifices and rituals? I don't know. Some decoders believe they are. But yeah, tonight's football game, if I didn't mention that, you know, I had mentioned the football game earlier, and I had picked the Chargers to win. They did. Look at that score. Those numbers are speaking. 19, like COVID, 19, and 22. Remember the V on Barack Obama's head? Oh, Pearson, you associate all that. People, I do because I understand script, okay? V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet. That's Barack Obama. I pet go to. When the V comes down his nostrils, all of a sudden everything behind him, including the physical parts, destroys. The American flag is shredded. I believe the powers utilize sports to speak to the day. And I don't think this football game is a mirage. I believe it was set up to speak. So people, please stay covered in the blood. That's all I can tell you. Keep your prayers up, and pray the Lord just sustains us. Okay, but yeah, could we have another situation of this coming up? They've been hinting at it, as far as I'm concerned. They've been hinting at it. So yeah, anything to control us and to mess with the economy, okay? So they can control us. And the 22, like I said, that's not good either. So allegedly, the game was rigged, in my humble opinion. But people, there are some things going on with content creators. You guys probably heard a few, I'd say less than maybe 5, 6 weeks ago, Benny Johnson, let me pull him up. Benny Johnson has his own podcast, one of the top rated YouTubers out there. Benny Johnson, you know, who was talking about his family was threatened a few months ago, right? Benny Johnson, one of the top, I think he's got like 5 to 6 million subscribers. He went on social media talking about it. His family was threatened. What's going on? And then another person I want to bring up, and the reason why I'm doing this video, is Tim Pool. Tim Pool. He just had a threat on his life, I want to say about 4 or 5 days ago. Don't know if you guys follow these people, but Tim's talking about quitting. I want to play this for you in case some of you guys don't know. I just found out this evening about it, so I'll do it a little bit later. But yeah, check this out. This is the latest and greatest on that. Wait a minute, I had something already synced and then it left. So let me just pull this up here. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it while you watch his face, because my speaker's acting up tonight. I'm not gonna worry about that. So we're gonna do it another way. But Tim Pool is talking about quitting, and the date got me, the 19th. The 19th. That's the day I said Trump should retire because of the numbers. But listen to this, people. Listen to this.
So where does it leave us? We have 2 weeks left in the year before we go on our Christmas hiatus. You know, I'm not a big fan of...
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to River.
All right, well, almost there. Commercial came up. I apologize for that.
We have 2 weeks left in the year before we go on our Christmas hiatus. You know, I'm not a big fan of any kind of hiatus. I would prefer just to work. But it is taxing, it is grueling, of course. And there's a lot of infrastructure here that requires me to work all day, every day, Monday to Friday, with some extra work on the weekends, usually meetings. And I'm probably gonna have a stroke. My health's actually pretty good. My blood pressure is great. My resting heart rate is actually around 45. I exercise quite a bit. Haven't been able to skate in the past month or two, the holidays, and But we have to have these conversations, and I have been with the people, our contractors, people we work with, our vendors, partners. And one thing is clear: the violence will get worse. It is going to escalate. We cannot keep going as status quo. Something has to change. It may be that, as we described after the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the threat to come and shoot up our studio and our workplace, we asked, at what point do we say we can't do this anymore? The cost of running Timcast IRL Studio and the projects around it exceeds the amount of money it brings in. That's just that breaking point, isn't it, for any business? If you need $100 to, run your restaurant, but you're only bringing 90, you go out of business. The issue? The cost isn't cameras or lights. The cost is security because of the escalation. It's an artificial cost to doing business that we can't balance. We can't forego security, but we can't sustain it either. So I've had some conversations with our partners, been talking with Rumble. There may be a solution, and it's going to be rapid change very quickly. We're gonna have some emergency meetings. We've already had emergency meetings for obvious reasons. And there is a possibility that the 19th is the last episode of Timcast IRL. We are doing everything we can to make sure that's not going to be the case. It's no secret that I've been frustrated and illusioned with a lot of people in politics, but that's no reason to walk away from doing our nightly show with a tremendous success. But the cost is not just money anymore. The cost is the safety of my family, myself, and there are many ideas we're floating around.
All right. I didn't watch the full episode, but...
So this is what he's dealing with. And this is recent. A lot of stuff is recent. So let me play that for you.
Live now from Fox, and we are following a developing story that we have been tracking here for a little more than 24 hours after a shooting. Gunshots fired there at the home of Tim Pool, who, of course, is known as a big political commentator with millions upon millions of fans on different social media platforms. Now, I do want to start from the beginning here because we heard from Pool on social media Saturday as he gave the initial information, saying a vehicle approached our property and opened fire. No one was hurt. Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to appropriate law enforcement. This is the price we pay for speaking out against evil. He went on to say, my immediate thought is someone was trying to scare us, but we have a security gate and armed guards, and it's possible this deterred something more serious. Now, earlier today, he posted this follow-up saying, security believes 3 shots were fired. We are in contact with police and FBI. Thank you for everyone who reached out. If anyone has archived Chicken City, the shots should be audible. Unfortunately, we do not archive the live stream. This would be Friday between midnight and 1 a.m.
So yeah, like I said, first Benny Johnson and his family, now this, and Nick Shirley, who's out there around the world, literally. He's had a few scuffles as well. World's changing, people. When I first heard about the Tim thing, I ran some numbers. I saw some things. I'm like, let's just see how it plays out. But I was in the security business for 19 years. I can tell you that in the entertainment field, of which I was in for a little while, I can tell you 24 hours security around the clock, it can be expensive. It can be expensive, very expensive. And he's got wife and kids, and he's got staff, and that's a cost that, that's an addition of the operations. Like you said, the operations are fine, basically. But this security cost in relation to the escalation, but he said he might do something else, who knows? So we'll see, but did you guys hear about it? How do you feel? Is this the new wave? He's had his issues and topics. Of course, we do. I have mine. You're going to ruffle some feathers. The recent thing going back and forth with Candace Owens in relation to what's going on with France and that the defamation suit. People don't see always eye to eye. I'm not saying Candace has anything to do or factored in with his decision with Candace per se. What I am saying is that there could be some people who look at his views saying, look, I don't like what you've been doing. I don't like what you've been saying. And the one issue in relation to, Candace, that could be one of many issues as to why someone would be threatening him. Again, I'm not saying Candace is involved. I'm just saying there are people who could possibly do that. Nobody wants to live like that as a content creator. I get my threats. I've saved them all. I've told you guys before, I've opened up a file. I've been getting them since the first 3 months I started almost 5 years ago. It can be a dangerous gig, man. Opinions, they strike to the heart of people sometimes. You hate to say it, it comes with the territory. I guess it's something about being on this camera and saying what you say. I don't think it's always that. I think it's the fact that you're here and some people just don't like you. I don't think it always has to be a reason. I just think there are some people out here that just don't like you. In Tim's case, he's gotten outright down and no holds barred to me, I guess. Every time I check him out, when I say no holds barred, he tells it like it is from his perspective, and he has a team. He has how would you say, a few people that join him, like a circle of people that are on his podcast and they talk about issues. Trump Candace, economy, you name it. After a period of time, you can make some people mad. So now it's become personal. I can't blame him. I can't blame him one bit. I ran some information. He's been out there. The first pool daily show was March 19th of 2018. The Tim Cass IRL, in real life, that's what it's called, began first episode August 27th of 2019. So he's been out there for a while, people, 5-6 years. That's a lot of work. I've been out here close to 5 years. If I had to guess, let me pull up my stuff here. I'd be forgetting, but I wouldn't be surprised if I've done close to, I can't check my number. I could. I'm just guessing. I've done over 4,000 videos, maybe 5,000 videos. It's a lot, people. It's a lot of work. And like you said, he works every day, Saturday and Sunday meetings. It owns you. This type of work owns you. And any minute you're gonna get a serious story. You have to ask yourself, man, I gotta go out here and get this story. You have to have a patient spouse who understands that at any given time, something serious could happen, and you're on that, and you're calling your staff, and you're trying to get out there and do a presentation on that particular issue. It's not that it's not more so the competition aspect of other YouTubers or content creators. It's the fact that people who have come to know you, that is your really dedicated flock of subscribers, they're looking that within an hour or maybe less than 2 hours, they want you to give them the news and or a perspective, and many times even a follow-up. And that's the pressure that we're under. I started in newspapers and magazines when there was no internet, and when you got the news out, you got it out probably later on that afternoon or that evening or the next day, depending on when the story hit. Once the internet hit, man, look, ball game changed, because now you're literally you're like, man, it's instant. You got to get on it. So I can definitely understand him. My workload is heavy. I'm sure his workload is probably 3 times as mine, even though he has a staff, and he's got to make decisions. So I don't blame him. So he might be leaving on December 19th. That might be his last show. Then again, he said it might be some other plans, but hey, pray for the brother. It's got to be hard. Again, Benny got threatened, him and his family. And again, Nick Shirley has been, well, I guess you could say threatened, because I've seen a few of his videos where he's got pushed around. And there probably are a few other entertainers, well, content creators who have gone through this. But that's the new day, because it's a new field when you think about it. The field hit its infancy when the internet hit, right? And when YouTube began and Rumble hit, and independent content creators, podcasts, you can do it. So I say this stuff is still new. When I say it's new, I don't know. How old is YouTube? 20 years old, I think? I don't know, maybe less, I don't know, I forgot. But it's still an infant, it's still a baby. Newspapers and magazines been out there for hundreds of years. But the internet and having someone like me out here every day, this is new. So we're going through our birth pains. And unfortunately, this is the new aspect of it. And we're getting out much more information in a short period of time than it was when I started in the media. Much more. Matter of fact, you're getting so much, a story is old in 2 days, because here come a new one. You know how it go. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to you. Tim Pool, he's saying by the 19th. I'll try to follow up on it, see what he's doing. But hey, I think Tim's got, let me see, 3,000, 3 million, 4 million. He's got 1.47 million followers. 1.47 million followers. That's a lot. That's a lot. If I ever get that many, I think I get paranoid. I would get paranoid. I would get paranoid. I think I would get paranoid. David Chappelle. I watched David Chappelle years ago, the old David Chappelle. And he said that his father always told him, name your price. When you do entertainment, name your price. When you name your price, you ask yourself how far you're gonna go with it and how long you're gonna go. Every man, every woman has to make that decision. So, Tim Pool, I hear you. Let me know what you think about this industry. If you've done it or you know somebody, put it in the description. How do they handle it? I know YouTubers who have taken 4 months, 2 months, or a year break and come back. I might have to do the same thing. You never know. But right now, I'm in it. I'm in it. Praise God. You guys have a good night.